have our treasurer, Aaron Pratt, give our community moment. And he is a passionate 6th grade teacher. He's dedicated to the education of young minds. And he likes art, gaming, cooking, likes to spend time with his family. His family's super cute. He became interested in creating a secular community because he and his wife would like a community for their family to be part of. So I'm going to invite Aaron up here to tell us a little bit more about Oasis.
Oasis, it's something that, to me, I've decided that it's something to be very passionate about. And I just there's a lot that I could talk about introducing what it is, but I think for today, I'm just going to stick with the 5 core values and kind of introduce you to the idea of those and why they're important through me, kind of through my life experiences. So, these are my kids causing ruckus. When I was a kid, I was born and raised here in Utah. I don't know if most of you know, but it's predominantly Mormon here. You can I was raised Catholic in a predominantly Mormon state, and it was not easy. There were opportunities I missed out on. My friends would be going on these campouts and adventures, and I wasn't allowed to be a part of it. I had people who wouldn't be my friend because of it. I had, girls who wouldn't date me because of it. And it was tough. It was tough to not really understand as a kid why the community wasn't accepting me. I was no different than them. We know how kids are. They love everybody. Why are these kids, for whatever reason, not accepting me? Which leads us into the first of the 5 core values, that people are more important than their beliefs. And I truly feel that, having grown up in the way I did, that, I never cared that these people were LDS. It didn't bother me, but for some reason, I don't know, that first core value strikes big to me because of how I grew up, the life I grew up with. People are more important than their beliefs, I think is hugely important. As I continued to grow up, I raised Catholic, my mom was Catholic, my dad was Lutheran, so we kind of had a split religion household anyway. The older I got, we kind of transitioned away from the Catholic Church, and we're just going with my dad to the Lutheran Church. And as we made that change, I kind of started, realizing that, I started pushing away from it. And part of that was probably because I just wanted to rebel against my parents.
Why is that voice so
Part of that was just simply a rebellion against my parents. My parents wanted me to play baseball as a kid, so I became a wrestler. My parents want me to go to church, so I get a job, and I tell that job to work me on Sundays. Part of it was the rebellion, but the further I pushed away from it, the more I started reading, reading things like The God Delusion and God No and Every Day is an Atheist Holiday. And the more I just didn't believe in it. I found myself separating myself not only from religion, but just the idea of God in general, which takes you even further from the standard community here in Utah. For some reason, there's this icky stigma around using the word atheist. Like we're baby eaters, or we're something, just because we don't believe. I would say I probably started down the road, and it was my early to mid-20s that I considered myself agnostic. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. And just the more I read, the more I knew about the world. Having become a teacher, it was actually the Newtown, Connecticut school shooting. The first mass shooting after my becoming a teacher that really just hit me hard. And I just, if there were a God and they were to there's just, for something like that to happen, there's no way that there was somebody over there watching out over us. And that's kind of when I took the step from saying I'm agnostic to saying I'm atheist. Because reality is known through reason. I mean, if you could give me proof that there was a God out there, then I would be the first person on top of that mountain shouting it out. But until that day, I would say I'm still agnostic, because you'll never hear me certainly say that there is not, but I am on the atheist side of it, where I tend to believe not, because to me, reality is known through reason, and that has always kind of, I mean, as I developed in who I am, that became a part of who I was before Oasis brought that out. They just put it to words that I didn't already have. One line that I don't know, it just eats me from religion, is the idea of, I will pray for you. You had a family member die, well, we're praying for you. A hurricane hits New Orleans, well, we're praying for New Orleans. An earthquake hits Haiti, well, we're praying for Haiti. And a lot of people stop at that and they think that's enough. And that has always been something that didn't set quite right with me. And just the older I got and the more separated from the church I got, it was the same way. You know, and okay, great, pray for them, do something. You know, if they had a death in the family, make them dinner for a night. Give them one less thing to worry about. If they're, you know, the New Orleans hurricane, go down there and do something. If you can't go down there and do something, donate monetarily. Even if you don't have a lot. I mean, I remember in my point in time, it was probably, I don't know, $5, $10, because I was a poor college student, $20. But I did what I could. Because human hands are solved by human problems. Human hands are not solved, human problems are not solved through prayer. They are solved by people taking care of people. About 8 years, I feel like all of my stories are downers, but that's kind of what brought me to where I am today. About 8 years ago, my dad died, and I was in my last semester of college, and it was right at the release of one of Linkin Park's songs, Leave Out All the Rest. I don't know how many of you know that, but the lyrics of it are, I dreamed I was missing, but you were still there, and no one would listen because no one else cares. After my dreaming, I woke with this fear, what am I leaving when I'm gone?
I only like stuff.
And that idea that at this point in my life, I'd been spending 7 years of college, I had been mostly self-centered in everything I did. I wanted a video game, I'd buy it. I needed a new TV grade, I'd go. A lot of what, and, you know, but at that point in time, it really, I mean, my dad died young, at 52, and it just hit me, you know, what am I doing to make a difference? And I think at this point in time, now that I've graduated school and I'm, you know, going into my 8th year teaching, I can say that, you know, I have hopefully made the difference that I'm setting out in life to do, and I'm going to continue doing that. But meaning comes from that making a difference. You know, what was my life? My life is being a teacher and making a difference, not only in the lives of those children, but in the lives of our world. Because the children are our future. I already told you the story of my religion. You know, growing up in an LDS community as a Catholic, I was kind of the fat kid growing up. I wore glasses growing up. I was in the smart kid class. I pretty much had every angle against me. One of the things that I strive to teach my students each and every year, whether it be, you know, one of those physical things you can't do anything about. Yeah, I'm a bigger kid. I could eat less, I could exercise, but I'm a bigger kid. That shouldn't be something held against me. Yeah, I wear glasses. Sure, I could get LASIK if my parents happen to have that thousands of dollars to give to a child, but it's not going to happen. You know, the idea of, you know, the golden rule. If you look through all of religions, Buddhism, Muslims, you know, Christianity, they have some form of that golden rule, that doing unto others as you'd have done to you, that taking care of people the way they want to be taken care of. You know, and I do my best in my classroom to teach my students that, you know, these people are your family. They might not be your blood brother and sister, but especially here in the classroom, we take care of one another. You know, I even go as far, there was one year, and this is a funny story, so it'll be an upper. There was one year where we were taken down from a project, and a couple of girls had a little ball of tape that they referred to as their baby and said they were the mommies of it. And I just, I said to them, whatever life happens to come to you, I will accept you in it. And they thought for a second and then realized what I was talking about. But just the idea of, getting everybody to accept everybody for who they are. Not what I want them to be, not what a religion wants me to be. We can come here to Oasis as you are. I mean, I heard some people as we were greeting, walking in, well, I'm not dressed up, I hope that's okay. Great. Welcome. We're glad you're here. I'm here in shorts and a t-shirt. Okay? Be accepting and be accepted. No matter the cost. That's not a conditional statement. Be accepting and be accepted. I accept you for who you are, and I hope you choose to accept me for who I am. Thank you.